Hello, my amazing friends. In today's video, Patreon's only video, I am going to be doing my skincare routine because it is nighttime and I want to give you guys this video. This is new tea, new thoughts that I have that will never make it into a video because I ain't got the time for the mess. But in this video, we will discuss. I want to discuss how Jeffree Star is so jealous of James Charles, and it really came out through that entire situation with Tati Westbrook. Now, I've been having these sentiments and these feelings for quite a long time, but I kind of didn't really talk about it because it's just like, it wasn't, sometimes you just don't want to be messy. You don't want to be the person who like insinuates something about someone, like they're jealous of someone. But we're here on Patreon. It's about 200 of y'all and we're going to get it groovy. Okay. This is how I felt. I always knew there was no way on God's green earth James Charles and Jeffree Star could be friends. I believe James Charles could be friends with Jeffree Star, but I don't believe Jeffree Star could be friends with James Charles simply because the type of human being we've seen Jeffree Star be. We've seen Jeffree Star be mean, manipulative, a bully, all of these things. Something about him just comes across as very, very bitter. He comes across as a very bitter person. Therefore, it never really seemed plausible to me that the two of them could be friends. It just didn't seem plausible. So when videos came out of them two yucking it up on James Charles' channel, it just seemed very fake and very forced. Now, before the entire James Charles situation with Tati, James Charles was loved. He might not have been loved like by everyone, but it was public opinion that James Charles was that boy. Like, people loved James Charles. Like, brands loved him, designers loved him. He was at the Met Gala. Like, people loved him. People really, really loved him. Therefore, Jeffree Star jumped on a train that was already moving. He jumped on the bandwagon of loving James Charles. And he knew if he wanted to grow in where he does his work, he needed to be friends with James Charles, because at that time, James Charles was that guy. He had subscribers. He had the celebrities on his channel. That is what he was doing. And you had Jeffree Star, who was kind of on the outs. He wasn't really what we see Jeffree Star being right now. Therefore, being friends with James Charles, he had everything to gain. And when he was on James Charles' channel, I knew that. I'm like, you are doing this because you stand to gain everything by being on James Charles' channel. It didn't seem real. It didn't seem anything. And Jeffree Star comes across as the type of person that everyone he was friends with always seemed beneath him. When he was hanging out with Nikita and Manny and Laura and all of them, they seemed beneath him. They seemed like he was better than them. They seemed like he was a lot better than them. So it just always felt to me like Jeffree Star was the type of person who was only friends with people so he could gain something. Those people had followings. We know the game Jeffree Star came into YouTube trying to be friends with as many people as possible. Right. So when he was on James Charles, I'm like, it's just so odd because I don't know this of you to extend a hand to newcomers, to want to be friends with someone who's on your spot. And we know Jeffree Star wants to be the best. We know that I'm about to go put on a shirt on, but we know Jeffree Star wants to be the best. We know that Jeffree Star wants to be that guy at all times. He wants to be the male face of YouTube, which is fine. But the thing is, that belonged to James Charles. James Charles was the biggest beauty guru before the Tati Westbrook thing happened and he had to step away. Right. So when he was on his channel, I'm like, this is weird, but you know what? Kenya's not going to be messy. But I know y'all are not friends. So the Tati Westbrook thing goes down. Tati says what she says about James Charles. Lo and behold, who comes out of the woodworks with more tea on James Charles? No one other than Jeffree Star. I am at the point where I 100% believe that Jeffree Star put Tati up to doing the entire thing. Do I believe she already wanted to do it? Yes. But she probably had Jeffree Star in her ear saying, do it, do it, do it. And I'll co-sign for you. So when Tati puts out the video about James Charles and his predatory behavior, Jeffree Star chimes in on Twitter and has all these allegations against James Charles, but we have not seen or heard a single word about these allegations since then. He has not said anything. He has not done anything. He has not pulled any receipts. We don't know Jeffree Star to hold receipts. We don't know Jeffree Star to take the high road. That's not what we know of him. So it was quite odd that he pulled out his gun, but then didn't shoot it. That's just not what we know of him. But the thing about Jeffree Star fights small dogs. He fights people he knows that he can win against. And when James Charles made his retaliation video against Tati, he had receipts. He had receipts that some people felt proved him innocent of the things Tati said that he did. Therefore, Jeffree Star had to renege. He had to retreat from his original statement. But the thing is, Jeffree Star never had anything. These are just my opinions. Jeffree Star never had anything of actual substance to prove against James Charles, I apologize. He never had anything. He just wanted to take James Charles down. This was his moment. When he saw all of this stuff piling up against Jeffree Star, he felt this was his moment. He said, this is my moment to get at him. This is my moment to take him down. And I believe Jeffree Star always had the intention of eventually taking James Charles down. And he jumped at the fact that Tati was doing this, and he wanted to add more fuel to the fire by being someone who would co-sign what Tati was doing, talking about how he was flirting with Nate and doing all of these things. But now in retrospect, how weird is that of you, a 30-year-old man, trying to take down a 19-year-old kid? There's something so weird about that. And he was comfortable doing that because Jeffree Star wants to be the number one bitch. Jeffree Star wants to be the number one girl. And James Charles stood in the way. His blood boiled when James Charles was at the Met Gala. Boiled. And that's what I think sent him overboard. That's what I think was the moment he said, Tati, make the video. He does everything with him in mind. He only cares about him. That is why he did that. Now you ask, why are you bringing this up? Because, so y'all have said, I remember when James Charles and Shane Dawson put out the preview for their series, and everyone was talking about how they had tea on James Charles. Like this was going to be the expose of a James Charles. And I thought it was so weird because didn't Jeffree Star, I didn't even get on the fact that he put out a whole video saying he didn't want to be involved in any of this, right? He put out a whole video about he didn't want to be involved in any of the drama with James Charles. But then why would you put out a documentary series insinuating that you're going to talk about James Charles? His entire documentary series rests on the fact that there's going to be drama. And yes, we're putting words in his mouth, but we all assumed that drama was going to have something to do with James Charles. But y'all are like 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 episodes into this whole documentary, and y'all don't have no drama. Y'all don't have no tea on James Charles. Y'all don't have nothing y'all was promised from Jeffree Star, because there is is nothing. Jeffree Star has nothing against on James Charles. He has no tea. He has no dirt. He has nothing on James Charles. He does not. He does not have anything. He's never had anything substantial. This was all a prop to bring James Charles down and get y'all to watch some stupid documentary. That is his whole point in doing this. His entire point in doing this. From the get-go, even bringing up James Charles, the point in that was to get under James Charles' skin, to bring James Charles down. Now he's realizing he can profit off of it, and he's getting you guys. He don't got nothing. There's no drama. There's no nothing. He has nothing on James Charles. He wishes he did. He wishes he had tea on James Charles, because if he did, you guys, he would show it. He would show it. If he actually had something against James Charles, you guys, we would see it. It would have been shown already, okay? Anyways, that's my quick nighttime tea. I like nighttime tea. Maybe we'll do this quite frequently. I like get ready nighttime tea, but that's my nighttime tea. Anyways, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye-bye.